Assalamu alaikum and welcome to hashtag Ask Aliza Kim. This week's question asks, you seem close to God. I can feel that God is with you, watching you, protecting you. If you could share what you do so that you can have this closeness, it would be good. As a born Muslim, I know and have been taught all about this. However, I think knowing is not enough. I need to feel it too. Okay, so I think that that this is a really hard question. It's something that's really personal, but I'm going to try to answer it for you as best as I can. I apologize first if I kind of ramble because, it's kind of hard to articulate why it seems like I'm so close to God, but I'll try. Okay, so I think maybe why some people feel that I'm very close to God and that maybe God has brought me close to Him is because I try to implement as much of the religion as possible. And I know that theoretically all Muslims do try their best to implement whatever they can, but perhaps I implement one in particular, and this is the concept of tawakkul. Tawakkul basically means having complete trust and reliance on God. As a new Muslim, we are often tested very, very hard. And the reason for that test is really to make sure that we are sincere in becoming a Muslim, that we have accepted this religion for the right reasons. And for me, that test came in the form of losing some interpersonal relationships. I mean, 99% of the people around me and also my online family accepted, my becoming a Muslim. And that's a whole separate story because I made like very strong du'as for that acceptance. But there was a small number of people, actually just one, that stopped talking to me. Alhamdulillah, just one. But there were a few other relationships where they were my test of whether I was going to let them go or not. Some of them were very difficult to let go of. Some of them took some time because it was very painful. They were people that I felt were close to me, and some of them I had known for years. But for all those years, I also knew that they were bad for me, toxic, all these kinds of things. And it was just something that I needed to do. And I think becoming a Muslim finally gave me the courage to face up to the fact that there are some people that when they become so toxic and so bad for you in your life, and it's affecting so many aspects of your life, then sometimes a distance needs to be made. So after that, I felt quite alone. I felt like I had no one to turn to. And on top of that, I was leaving a career that was a good career, but I felt that it wasn't helping me to get to heaven. So, or to Jannah. So, I was leaving a very lucrative career as well. So with no one to turn to and my stability kind of going out the window, the only place that I could turn to was to God. God is the one steady thing in my life and should be in your life. He is the creator, He is the giver, He is the sustainer, He is the Lord, He is the all-loving and merciful and forgiving. So I turned to Him and I basically said something like this: I have nowhere to turn to. And so even though I've just submitted myself to the religion, I think I also have to submit myself in an even deeper way, not just with my ideology and the way that I want to, lead my life, but also with the knowledge and the acceptance that I have never been in control of my life. You have always been in control of my life. And now I realize that. And so I am turning the steering wheel back to you. That was difficult, but that realization also freed me. It made me realize that, okay, there's a higher being, a better being in control of my life. And I know and I trust And I believe that he always makes better decisions for me about my life than I ever would. And I realized that I made some really bad decisions, so I would rather him to make the decisions anyway. But that complete trust and reliance, that tawakkul that Alhamdulillah, that I discovered because of those hardships of being a new Muslim, is, I think, why it seems like I'm so close to God. It's because I submit myself and I completely give myself to God. And of course, just kind of submitting yourself is not enough. Yeah. The submission is part of it. That's letting Allah be in control. But also, I have to still do my part, which is, keeping up with the worship, the 5 daily prayers, the fasting during Ramadan, etc. And also doing as much good as I can. And I think this has always been the winning formula. It's the complete trust and reliance on God, plus worship as best as I can. Not perfect, of course, but as best as I can. And doing as much good in as many ways as I possibly can with whatever talents and gifts that I might have, whether that's charity, whether that's videos, whether that's sharing sessions, whether that's whatever I can do. And because I have been using this formula now for almost 8 years of being a Muslim, and because perhaps I'm also a public figure, so people can see the result of that formula. And the result of that formula is, being or seemingly being close to God. And I do feel close to him. I wish I felt closer to him, because the closer you are to him, the more calm, the more stable, the more that whatever comes at you will not faze you. And that is a calmness in your mind and also a calmness in your heart that you definitely can't find anywhere else. Okay, I hope that I answered this kind of deep and difficult question to answer, because it's just so personal. Yeah, so I really have to thank you for this question that I found so hard to articulate, but alhamdulillah, we've made it. And yeah, if anyone else has any other questions for me, about me, for advice or my opinions or anything like that, please do put that into the comments section below. And I will see you guys in the next week's session of #AskAlizaKim. Please don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my social media handles yet, please do that as well. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.